Hi, welcome to today's episode of the Perfume Preppy, where we talk about all things fragrance. Before we get started, be sure to click like and subscribe. That way you're notified whenever I upload fragrance-related content. Without further ado, let's get into it. So today I'm going to be talking about Bath & Body Works collaboration with Milk Bar. I mentioned in my previous video that might be the next video, and I was a little curious about it myself. So I went in and I decided to just kind of get a feel for it and see how I felt about the product. Now, if you're watching this, you may have noticed you don't see any product on my usual table where I keep it. And I'm gonna be honest with everyone, that's because I didn't like a single scent that they had. I know that's pretty atypical for one of my reviews, but you know, I try to be honest about how I feel about a scent. Now I get it, other people may have differing opinions, but you know, I try to be authentic in how I feel about different fragrance related products and even some of the few beauty products that I've had on here. So I'm just going to kind of give a bit of an overview about the Milk Bar Bath & Body Works collaboration, why I felt the way I felt, and also a bit of history on the company. So this Milk Bar collaboration with Bath & Body Works, the fragrances, there's 5 of them. It's Milk Bar Birthday Cake, Cereal Milk Soft Serve, Raspberry Holiday Pie Bar, Peppermint Bark Truffle, Cinnamon Sugar Pretzel Cookie. Now, you hear those and you would think that they would just smell amazing, right? Like they would be so great. Because I looked at it online, like all the like Milk Bar products and all that, and I was really excited to go in store and take a look at these. I mean, the display is really pretty. It looks really good. The packaging is really pretty. You know, it very much puts you in the dessert type of thing. Yeah, I was very disappointed. I'm just going to be honest. So, you know, I smelled each one, and when I smell anything from like Bath & Body Works, I don't just smell the body care, like, you know, the body lotion, the spray fragrance. If they have candles, I also smell that. I smell everything, you know, in the body care as well, because a fragrance I find sometimes it smells different when it's just the fragrance mist versus the lotion. Like it's the same fragrance, but sometimes that smell doesn't translate the same, I suppose is the best way to put it. And no, absolutely not. And you know, anyone who watches this channel knows that, you know, sometimes if I'm in the mindset of where I'm going to sniff fragrances and, you know, just kind of, you know, review and all that stuff, I smell a lot of fragrances. The fragrances are so sugary sweet that before I even moved down the line, because like I said, there's 5 of them, before I even got to about the 3rd or 4th one, I had like a small piercing headache and my stomach was like getting kind of upset just from smelling. I've never had that happen with, you know, any of their previous scents, you know, or any scent period, you know, whether I'm at Ulta smell. That's how like sweet these are. And it's sweet in a way where it doesn't even make sense fragrance wise. Like if it's that sweet in the bottle, I don't even know how that would break down on anybody. I don't. And some of it had like you know how like foods will have an aftertaste. Some of them had a very weird like after smell. Like when you smelled it, you kind of backed away and let it settle in your nose. It, like I said, it just had all of them, they're like too sweet. Like you can't really enjoy the scent. Like there's just a lot going on. Now, what's interesting with that is their candles actually smelled good. I smelled all the candles. 3 of them were okay. My 2 favorites that I liked in the candles were the Cereal Milk Soft Serve and the Cinnamon Sugar Pretzel Cookie. I smelled those and I really liked those. Actually, you know what? That's not fair. There were 3 of them. Those 2 and also the Milk Bar Birthday Cake. That one smelled really good. So the candles are soy candles, and the smell translates better in that form as opposed to like their body care. Like I said, I tried to like each and every one of them, and they were so sweet that they really took away from what the fragrance was supposed to be. Like the cinnamon one, before you even had the note of cinnamon, you just had this overwhelming like sugary scent, and I no. So in case some of you are new to it, you may be wondering, okay, but what is Milk Bar? Like what's the big to do about that? So Milk Bar is actually, it's a sweet shop, sometimes savory, a shop that was started in 2008. Its founder is Christina Tosi. She's her first Milk Bar shop was actually opened in New York City's East Village. And recently she was profiled on Netflix's docuseries, Chef's Table. And don't misunderstand me. We love a women-owned, woman-owned business around here, but this collab, like in theory for Bath and Body Works, it makes sense, but in application and execution, not so much. Now, to be clear, this is not Bath and Body Works like first heavy dessert like kind of themed body care line. Back in the day, I don't know if anybody remembers this, they had a line called Tutti Dolci, and Tutti Dolci was my jam. So that line was introduced in 2004. It was discontinued in 2006. And I remember because this line came out when I was in college. And once again, the packaging, the copy on like the print things, all very pretty. It looked like it was in a sweet shop. All of the fragrances smell good. You know what I mean? Some were more my favorites more than others, which I'll talk about. But but the scents weren't so overwhelmingly sweet you couldn't enjoy it. And most importantly, when you put on the fragrance, it smelled good. Like, it wasn't like just so sugary where you couldn't even make out a discernible note, or like you smelled it and it hurt your stomach and gave you a headache like I just described. So, as I said, the line was introduced in 2004. It was discontinued in 2006, which I was very sad about. The line was briefly brought back in 2016, and it had new fragrances such as Golden Honey Praline and Sweet Lemon Buttercup. Now, I do remember the Golden Honey Praline, and that was a good scent. The original scents include Creme Brulee. Now, that one was my personal favorite. And so in this line, they had like a body scrub, and it was like a really coarse kind of sugar scrub. So it smelled really good, but it really made your skin soft. I loved that. I was very sad that it was discontinued. They had body butter, they had body lotion, the body spray, like the typical components of a Bath and Body Works line. And creme brulee, like I said, was my absolute favorite, but the other scents were good too. They had angel food cake, they had lemon meringue, and they had sugar wafer, just to name a few. Sugar wafer was also very good. And even though, sugar wafer, it's intended to be sweet, it still had, discernible notes. Like it had vanilla, it had really nice undercurrents in it. You didn't just walk out the house just smelling like, buttercream frosting. So, like I said, Bath and Body Works, they have kind of done this foray of, dessert themed body care before. Now, I don't remember if this line had candles. I can't remember. But I do remember that the fragrances, they all smelled good. The packaging was really pretty. It was really inviting. It made you want to buy it. Like I said, I was a huge fan. I was really upset when it got discontinued in 2006. And even when it came back in 2016, it was kind of like blink and you miss it. It didn't stay around as long as it should have. So, I think because of their original Tutti Dolci line, I was really excited for the Milk Bar collaboration, and it was really disappointing. So that's just kind of my take on it. I just wanted to jump on here real quick and just kind of give everyone my thoughts on that. I would be interested to know what some of your thoughts on the Milk Bar collaboration would be. If you disagree with me, that's fine. I would just be kind of curious as to, what particular scents in that line you liked. So, I mean, feel free to comment, if you don't agree with that take, or if you do agree with it and you smell me, you're like, yeah, it wasn't for me either. It'd be interesting to hear some other perspectives, but that's very much my perspective. So I just wanted to jump on here and just give everyone my take on that, because as you know from previous videos, I love Bath and Body Works. I'm definitely a Bath and Body Works girly, but this one missed the mark for me. So with that, everyone have a good night and happy Friday. Goodbye.